Thank you, Dean Hinkson, for that nice introduction. Welcome, students, staff, faculty, board of trustees, and other esteemed guests of the greater Pomona College community. I wanted to start off by saying it is truly an honor to be elected by the student body to be student body president for Pomona College. I am overall very excited for the school year, and I'm just thankful for this opportunity. I'm also thankful to ChatGPT for writing this entire speech for me. Shout out to ChatGPT. That was a joke. It's okay, you can laugh. I also want to reiterate a special welcome to the class of 2027 and the transfer students, as it is their first or second day of classes. Now, looking towards my first day of classes, I was very excited, but it did look a little different. So instead of having the beautiful academic buildings, the mountains, or I don't know, having normal expectations like taking a lab class in a lab or a theater class in a theater, I had the experience of doing all of this in my dining room table. Yay. But my first day, I remember my class was general chemistry, Chem 1A, and it started at 11 a.m. But since I was in the East Coast, it started at 1 o'clock. So, come the first day, I wake up, and then I check my phone, it's 1:03. Class started at 1, it's 1:03. I was late, and I couldn't even use an excuse like, oh no, like I couldn't find the academic building, or like, oh, you said Pomona College, my bad, I could have said Cal Poly Pomona, like my GPS is crazy, like I'll do better. So I couldn't use any like weird excuse like that. But that experience reminded me of Chase the Bus. So, for those of you guys who do not know what Chase the Bus is, it is basically a term my dear sweet mother came up with when we literally had to chase the school bus down when I would miss it in the mornings. You guys do not know the struggle, maybe some of you guys do, of having to pull up to your bus stop 6:35 sharp, you're pulling up, and then you see your bus turning, and you're like, great, now we gotta do a chase sequence. So the bus driver is driving at 70 miles per hour, and it's a yellow school bus, so no one really cares about like what the bus driver is doing. My mom was pushing 65 on the odometer, and we were actively losing ground, literally. The bus driver is driving like some teenage boy in a Honda Civic. Meanwhile, mind you, sometimes the bus driver would drive so fast that we'll miss the next school bus, and at a certain point, me and my mom knew the bus like route better than the school themselves. But this experience reminded me of the first day of school because my mom would always say on the car ride, Timmy, what are you gonna do when you get to college? Timmy, no one's gonna be there to wake you up when you're in college. Now, while this isn't the best example because my mom most definitely was there to wake me up and she was next door wide awake, and I don't know if she didn't wake me up because I guess she wanted to fulfill her prophecy, or she didn't wake me up because maybe I simply didn't tell her my schedule. But what she said had a lot of truth. When you're in college, no one is gonna be there to force you to be accountable for yourself. And that could be a very slippery slope, right? So, as I said, it was 6 a.m., my mom was tired, and what she said had truth. But I can say I've gotten better at showing up to places on time, kind of. But I would also say that college can and will be a test of your character. The discipline and the values you enter here with will be tested. It is so important to know who you are when entering a place like this. Sometimes people think of college, new year, new me, I'm gonna change, because you're experiencing new things, you're experiencing new friendship dynamics, new cultures, right? But at the same time, while this is great, don't let this distract you from the fact that you were also chosen to be here because of your own personal experiences, because of what you have to offer, because of your values that you can contribute to this Pomona College community. Think of it like a carrot. So hopefully we all cook here, right? If you add a carrot in like say a pot or like a stew or something, if you add a bunch of spices, eventually the carrot begins to taste like the spices. So be a carrot in college. Absorb the flavors, but at the same time, a carrot has its own contributions and its offerings to the overall dish. So as I said, be a carrot in college and don't try to either be in the pot too long where you begin to lose your flavor, and also absorb the cultures and opportunities. Now, before I wrap up, I wanted to give a list of advice that I've curated for you guys, and this is what I've learned and found helpful. Number 1, say your problems out loud because you never know who can help. And this also goes for the flip side, to help others without and expecting nothing in return. In Hebrews 13:12, NIV version, it says, do not forget to show hospitality to strangers, for by doing so, some have shown hospitality to angels without even knowing it. And ain't that the truth? Shout out to Kat and Bay. There was one time when I was walking through campus, and I ran into my friends Bayardo and Kat. They were saying, oh, we're gonna go to Trader Joe's, and I was like, oh, that's cool. They were like, oh, we're gonna Uber. And I said, oh, I have a car, I can take you. And nice enough, like, we went, again, no expectations in hands. We get to Trader Joe's, and they're like, grab what you want, like, thank you. And I was like, no, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm being like a little modest. And they were like, no, get what you want, it's covered for. I said, covered for? Say less. I'm grabbing everything from the car, things I never tried before. I'm like, this looks good, I never had this, let's get it. So I was just grabbing everything in the car. And it just goes to say that now it's like a tradition between me, Bayard, and Kat that we now go to Trader Joe's and Walmart every now and then to buy groceries and snacks. And it reminds me of Luke 6:35 that says, lend a helping hand to others, and by doing so, your reward shall be great. Now, to continue on to the list, number 2, you're gonna have moments when you find new passions and a new purpose. And sometimes you'll be doing something you have been doing for years, and then realize, wait a minute, I don't care. Or you'll say, wait a minute, I don't wanna do this anymore. Honor that, and don't plant a seed in a pot that you don't wanna be in. Number 3, take opportunities, take risks, don't wait, you gotta take it. You have to play offense in life. Don't play defense. Don't wait for a job application or an internship. Make your own application. Write your materials and send it to a company. If they say no, make your own opportunities. Number 4, life is all about give and take. You have to set boundaries for yourself because one compromise will affect another aspect in your life. And don't compare yourself because you never know what someone else is going through and you don't know what someone else is sacrificing to get what they have. So sure, you could see someone with straight A's, but that could be the same person walking out of here with the nicotine addiction they didn't come in with. Life is all about give and take. Number 5, do not center your self-worth or value using your grades and stats. This is such a fragile base to support your mindset and your self-worth, and that could all be taken away at any moment. And sometimes it's even out of your control. Like in my case, I have knowledge and mastered maybe a little too well. You're not one test. Or grades don't affect you or doesn't define you for a long time. Because for me, I could fail a test, and the next day the sun is shining, I'm stretching my arms, little town, it's a quiet village, I'm singing to the birds like a Disney princess, because it does not faze me. I choose peace, because you determine what you want to affect you. And lastly, number 6, acknowledge that you are currently living what you dreamed of. Because school tends to go in years of 4. So like high school, medical school, or college. Well, hopefully college is like in 4 years, not like 6, 7, 8. At that point, you're like an overcooked carrot. Let's wrap it up. But remember, you are currently living in what you dreamed of. So make the most of it and don't spend these chunks of time, sometimes in years of 4, and don't spoil it by only fixating on what the next steps is. Overall, I'm just so excited and appreciating of you guys taking the time to listen to me, and thank you very much.